One, right?
Yes.
And what are you going to cook?
I'm going to make spaghetti sauce with lobster and shrimp, and I'm also going to make some shrimp scampi and a salad.
Okay.
Years ago, I used to make a lot of different fishes for Christmas Eve. It was a big thing for your dad and I. But since all the children came...
So, did you prepare things already?
Well, what I did was I marinated the shrimp for the scampi with lots of garlic and parsley. And most people use all butter, but I use half olive oil, half butter, and like the juices of 3 lemons. And I marinate them until I'm ready to cook it tonight. And I did chop up a lot of parsley, a lot of garlic, which I'm going to start for the sauce.
Okay. Okay, we're by the stove now.
Okay.
All right.
Put in approximately a half a cup of olive oil on a medium flame. I'm going to brown 4 cloves of garlic and lots of parsley chopped fine. When that's not dark brown, but more or less translucent, then I'm going to put in two of the big large cans of tomatoes, which I put in the machine that takes away all the seeds.
Pureer.
Yeah.
Now you don't heat up the garlic ahead of time. I mean, the olive oil ahead of time.
No, I don't.
You don't. Okay,
No.
so you just put it in cold and you put the heat on
and let it brown.
Okay.
And then when that's brown, brown, not dark brown, like I said, translucent, what I'll do is throw in the 2 cans of tomatoes, and I'll let that, with salt, and I'll let that cook for about an hour.
Now, do you add pepper or oregano or anything else?
Not oregano, and I'm not going to add pepper yet, because some of this sauce I'm going to save for your sister, and she doesn't like pepper.
Now, you talking about red or black pepper?
Red pepper.
Okay. You don't add any black pepper, do you?
No, I don't.
Now, if you were making, this is seafood, obviously, but
yes.
If you were making a meat red sauce, would you do it any differently? Use any garlic when you make a meat sauce?
No, because if I'm going to make meatballs, there's garlic in the meatballs.
Okay.
And the combination of the browned onion and the garlic that's in the meatballs works out fine.
So you do it the same way, though. You put the pot on cold, you add olive oil, and then you put onions in over medium heat, and you sweat the onions until they're translucent, and then you add the tomato?
The tomato.
Okay. Now, when you make a meat sauce, how many different kinds of meat do you use?
Well, if I'm making a meat sauce, then I'm going to brown the meat and take it out before I put in the onion.
Okay, so you do that first.
Yeah, if I'm making a meat sauce, not meatballs.
Okay.
And I put beef, pork, sometimes a piece of chicken, not always.
And what cut of beef would you use?
Well, I'd use like what you would use for a beef stew.
Okay.
Sometimes I buy the round steak. And sometimes I buy the chuck. The chuck is very good for something like that, but it's a little bit more fatty.
Okay.
And
you brown that in olive oil?
In olive oil, and I take it out and put it in the refrigerator, and maybe the last half hour of the sauce I will put it back in.
Okay, but you always use a combination of meats.
Yes, I do, because it makes a nicer flavored sauce.
So what's that there?
This is, I opened the large can of tomatoes.
Okay, and do you use a special kind of tomatoes?
Yes, what we get from Pellegrino. Is it, I forgot the name of it. Hold on. Sclafani, which is very good.
What kind?
Sclafani.
And you just use the imported ones. You don't like the ones that are grown in America.
No, they're different.
They're different. Okay.
And then I put it through here and I keep whirling it. This is a magnificent tool that you and I bought in. Let's give them a plug.
Little different drummer.
Different drummer.
Okay, and this is what it looks like.
This is what it looks like.
The puree. It's got no seeds. All right, and this is 2 cans worth.
2 cans.
Okay. Because you don't want to affect the outcome of the meal, because since it'll directly affect me.
Okay. Because, you know, if you brown the garlic too much, it has a bitter flavor.
Yeah, you don't want that.
So now I'm going to pour in the tomato.
So how long would you say that was on the stove? Like 2 minutes, 3 minutes?
This?
The garlic and the...
Oh, no more than like 3 or 4 minutes.
Okay.